This is Show versus Business, where pop culture meets pop money with your host, the real Theo Harvey, and Mr. Benja coming with all the relevant information. So, Mr. Benja, what's been going on with you?
Oh, what's been going on, man? I've been staying hydrated and doing my thing, getting my water on. I don't know why you didn't film me getting the water. I thought it was an interesting intro. But today we're going to have a little discussion about a couple things. First of all, Carl Weathers is no longer with us. We're going to reminisce on that a little bit. And the Apple Vision Pro has been released this week. We're going to talk a little bit about that, some impressions. Zuck is turning into the Threads version of Elon. Really interesting, just a persona check right there. And speaking of persons, we've got Pharrell doing the Lego movie for some reason. Byron Allen's making a bid for Paramount. And not everything is good in the world of trying to get ahead. This is Black History Month, so this is an interesting one that came up. But some people are getting sued for equality. It's interesting. More on that. It's a DEI kind of thing. So I don't know if you're into that or not, but we're gonna talk about it. And TikTok's in some shenanigans, as always, with The Sopranos, UMG removing content, Sony suing people. And we may drop a couple other little things in there, but that's pretty much the week in review. What you got going on?
Mr. Benja, man. Oh, it is. We're filming this a little bit different. So, Fridays, man, it's a little different for me, but this week it's been pretty good, man. Just trying to get a lot of things done from a work perspective. But I will say this, Mr. Benja, don't ever coach. I think I talked about this last time, but don't ever coach 9 to 10 year olds, right? On a Friday. It's fun, but it's a lot, man. It takes a lot out of you. And I am thinking about talking to 9 to 10 year olds like 20 times. Stand here, turn left, jump this way, jump that way. And then my son, who's 8, is on the team as well, so just dealing with that. So it could be a lot, man, just dealing with kids and trying to run around with them and keeping up with them. But yeah, I think that was the highlight of my week, be honest with you. I was trying to think, okay, usually I have some witty story or repartee, but really that was the gist of it, was really dealing with a lot of these 9 and 10 year olds and just being fascinated by a lot of new reading I got into. So I'm super excited about some of the stories this week.
New reading? You mean like news articles and
Oh, yeah, man, I was hyped, man. There's a lot of stories, man, that came out this week between Byron Allen and
oh,
the
okay.
Vision and all this other stuff. I was like, "Wow, man, this is some good stuff." So,
Do you
yeah, so
do you read
yeah.
do you read on a tablet?
No, I read on my phone. I used to read on tablet, but yeah, I have a tablet somewhere. I'm terrible, man. I probably do more reading and watching movies on this little thing
Yeah.
than a little bit. Once a week, I may watch something on the big TV. It's so sad.
Yeah. Have you ever been in bed looking at your phone and it slips and hits you in the face?
Oh, yeah, man.
So
Last night, but I had it what I do is I hold it like this sometimes, it fell on the floor. Yes, I do know that experience. I'm really be honest with you, I'm trying to get away from having the phone in the bed sometimes, take some days off from it, but yeah, usually when I'm watching and that's how I go to sleep. Because back in the day this is
mhm.
good, I like this story. Back in the day, I used to watch TV and put the sleep timer on. I don't know if you remember that back in the day, and so you put the sleep timer on, so you could just watch TV and it'll go off on its own. But man, it's just funny how everything just slowly migrated to the phone over time, and next thing what you do,
Yeah.
almost the last thing you see and the first thing.
Yeah. I asked about the tablet because a while back, I was like, "Oh, yeah, get all my news, and I could make little PDFs and everything to store them up, and then when I'm ready to read at night," like, I used to flip open a book or something and read at
Mhm.
night, or a magazine, a copy of EGM or Nintendo Power, just flip through those glorious glossy pages. I love magazines. But then I got a tablet, and I'm just like, "Oh, this is great. I can scroll," and but when you slip and drop a tablet on your face, that's different than a phone. So
That's a different feeling.
So I hit myself in the mouth once. I was like, "Oh crap!" And then I hit myself in the nose. And that nose feeling you get, that's just like
Yeah.
that little burning, tingling. After the second time, I was like, "Nah, we're switching back to paperbacks at night, soft cover paperbacks for bed."
Nah, man, I feel you. Those are sometimes, yeah, I used to read in bed too, but I've actually had a hardcover one time. I fell asleep and it hit me in the face.
Bonk.
Wake yourself up, sucker, with knowledge. So yeah, man, it was one of those things that happened. But nah, man, what about you? How was your week?
Week was good, man. And I'm glad you brought up the nighttime routine thing. I've really been working on that. I was we've been talking about I haven't moved on, but I've jumped into more of what Benjamin Hardy's been talking about and breaking down,
Mhm.
okay, where can I apply this? Where can I apply that? And one of the things was the author of Gain of the Gap, Who Not How, 10x Leader and 2x, and Your Future Self Now. Those are the four that I rock with. I don't really know too many of the others, but
Oh, you read all four of those now at this point?
yeah, I need to go back and redo Future Self Now because I can't talk confidently about that one. But 10x Easier and 2x and Gap in the Gain, I can talk pretty confidently on. But and Who Not How, I'm coming up on that one. But one thing he kept re-emphasizing was the whole sleep process.
Mhm,
So this past week, I just really started to nail into it, and I was doing one of my reviews, and looking back through my journals, and it was like, got to get good sleep, man. Hey, make sure you get good sleep. Make sure you get good sleep. Go to sleep by this time. Wake up and do this. And I had it listed down like a lot. And when you list something a lot, you're like, okay, this is a recurring problem. I need to go ahead and take care of this.
mhm.
Man, that whole nighttime ritual of hitting a certain time, turning off all notifications. I don't put on any more music. I put on Jedi ambience, sound, the sounds of Dagobah, right? That's what I put on.
Nerd.
I'm just saying it works for me.
Nerd.
So
Speaking as one who put on Duel of the Fates while he was studying for his calculus test, but I digress.
so yeah, I'm like wandering around the house with my headphones on, listening to sounds of Dagobah or whatever, and I'm like wondering, I wonder if I got any phone notifications. It's only 8 o'clock at night. I don't care. And then it just shuts off. And over after a while, man, you just start flushing out all the random thoughts. I'm not touching my phone. I'm not touching any websites, any outside information. I basically cut off
Mm,
like I do my Sundays. It's just been great because then all of a sudden, the random thought comes up, and I'm like, that is a good freaking idea.
yeah.
Jot it down. And then when I wake up, I grab my phone. I do. But I always turn on there's like a little morning prep playlist I have. It's just like it's either somebody talking or certain songs where it's just like, all right, I'm getting up in the morning. Yeah, it's just changed me so much just in terms of how I attack the day. So right when I
Love it,
turn
man.
on, right when I turn on my phone and see all those notifications, I was like, I was expecting you.
Yeah, it's as a family guy, he's got kids and everything. It's almost like I have to get up early, and I get that 2 hours to myself just to think. And the business owner is that once the day starts, just, you know, stuff is trying to get into your days. So to your point, I do the Benjamin Hardy thing, Dr. Benjamin Hardy thing, where I write my stuff at, down at night, and then
Mhm.
hopefully my subconscious is working through it. And then when I get up in the day, like you, I do read a few things, but then for the most part, I get in, do some scripture reading, do a little meditation, prayer, and then give them a little coffee, and then start my day. And so I'm writing all these emails, and so I wait till it gets. So I got like 20 emails banked by 7 a.m. So I wait for a respectable time, like 8:05. Send. Chaos.
You're like, oh,
So
he's up.
oh yeah. So yeah, some people know, like I have a VA. She to them it's like what 12 hours difference, right? So it's 5 p.m. to her. But she wanted to move hours to 5 a.m. I said, yeah, sure, I'm up. Yeah. So sometimes I'll even send her and say, it's 5 a.m. You just send me your email, what you're gonna do today. Yeah, man. That morning routine is almost like sacred, and you have to get that in because if you don't, I've literally gotten sick if I didn't get some time to myself in the morning because I'm like, man, I got nothing for myself. So even if it's 30 minutes, it's better than nothing, in my opinion.
Yeah, exactly. Real quick, how do you meditate? Do you have any certain?
No, just more prayer more than
Prayer?
anything.
Yeah,
Just yeah, just close my eyes and just breathe in and breathe out. Just take a moment because we get so much dopamine pumped into us all the time.
yeah,
Dopamine, gotta get that sweet dope. Trying to stay off of off of it as much as I can and try to stay present more. But it could be difficult, but that's the key. But yeah, so I guess I did have an eventful day. A couple other things too. I helped my daughter set up her Shopify shop. She was talking some stuff. She's 12 years old, child. I got inspired to set up her up with a Shopify account so she can start selling clay beads in the streets. And so getting her on this entrepreneur path. She seemed pretty excited about that. So that's good. And so yeah, man, I'm just trying to be more present with everybody as we get older. That's probably why time seems like it's moving so fast because it is number well to us because relatively speaking, a year is so much little space in our mind compared to what 40 years of life lived at this point.
yeah.
So the more present you are, the more aware of everything, then you probably, your mind is not like, oh, that's just a random February in 2024. So really trying to be more present. But I love your evening and morning routines. And so definitely we should do more of that, man.
Totally. Yeah, I guess that's that for now. You ready to jump into this, huh?
Let's do it, man.
Yeah. Carl Weathers will start off on a somber note here.
Yeah.
The icon of the icon Carl Weathers is no longer with us, and we know him from Rocky. We know him from Happy Gilmore. We know him from the newer Star Wars shows, Mandalorian. This guy has been around, and he recently passed at how old, Theo?
I want to say 73. Yeah.
76, 76.
Oh, 76. Thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah. I'm looking at it right now. Wow, man. Did you know he's from your neck of the woods, New Orleans?
Actually, I did not know that.
Yeah, he's from New Orleans, man. But yeah, Carl Weathers. What can't we say about him? What came to the forefront in our minds was Rocky, right? He played Apollo Creed, just the heavyweight champion of the world. He was the best foil for us, Sylvester Stallone's Rocky, because Rocky was this down his luck Italian guy trying to make it happen, and Apollo was bigger than life, right? He had to be grand and he just sparkled. And he also was super in shape. And that was in the beginning where Sylvester Stallone was taking over Hollywood with these quote unquote physiques that were man made, but who
Yeah.
knows? Man made in a bottle. But anyway, so yeah, so Apollo Creed, man, he just popped off the screen to me with that. And of course, I always remember Rocky 3 where he didn't give up against Drago, right? And he, throw in the towel, don't throw in the towel. Then he went
Yeah.
down and so to the point where now they create a whole with Michael B. Jordan, actor Michael B. Jordan, based on his characters. Just that he created iconic characters. When you look at the first three things they talk about is one of them is Rocky. What's the second one you think they talk about when it comes to Carl Weathers?
They talk about Predator comes up a lot.
Yeah, that's up there. That's up there. What are your thoughts on him and Predator, real quick?
He didn't die first. So
The black guy. I
shout out
just
to
you ever seen that meme though, where him and Arnold Schwarzenegger come up and they shake hands with their
yeah,
big old biceps? You
yeah.
son of a gun! So that's what I think about every time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
That's the big meme. Me and my son, we create that every day almost. So yeah, he was in Predator and then did Action Jackson, like the first
Right, right,
black
right.
mainstream. I think Vanity was in it. I think so. Yeah, let me look at the picture here. Yeah, Vanity. Yeah, she was in that. And for those who don't know, Sharon Stone. Wow, I know she was in that. Vanity was like the black princess, right? Everybody loved back in the day. And so those are pretty much the big things. But the one I was thinking about was Happy Gilmore. Remember, he made that comedy.
Yeah,
He was the Derek Chubbs Peterson, who was the his crazy kind of character that and I guess he showed he was funny too. And that
yeah,
kind of opened my mind to him. It's, oh wow, he's not just this beefcake type of dude, but he can be funny as well. Because you remember he didn't have a hand. I think it was the
yeah.
alligator ate it off. It's just crazy stuff, man. And
Shake my hand.
and then last but not least, the other thing they've been mentioning is Mandalorian, man. He
Yeah,
basically at near the end of his life, he basically was a Star Wars geek, man. Because not only did he was in it as Grief Karga, right? But he actually directed 2 episodes of the show. Man, he was living his best life. And matter of fact, one of his last roles, he was actually nominated for Emmy Award. So it just goes to show you, man, even near you get older, you can still have a recreation of your life. And I just blew my mind that he was like still relevant in this day and age. It was pretty good as that role too. Like this, like the older version of Lando Calrissian, right? The swarmy type of politician guys with a little shady past. And he played that role pretty well. And he directed some of the episodes. So I thought he was gonna have a long future with inside the Star Wars universe, thanks to Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni. But, yeah, man, it was just sad to see him go, I mean, and all the things he's done, and I think definitely The Mandalorian was probably made, a lot of folks realize and he's done a tons of stuff all the way back to good times, right, back in the day.
Yeah.
So it's just he's just been around, like you said, for a long time.
I couldn't find what the cause of death was. If there was anything besides just
Yeah.
I hadn't heard anything about it coming up, that's why I'm asking. Like, or he's
Yeah.
sick, or he's old, or he won't be filming. But usually they throw out a little something like that, but I don't see anything on that. But I can tell
Yeah.
you, he definitely was working. I checked his IMDb.
Mhm.
Starting from 1973, he skips a year, and then in 1975 hits Good Times, 1975 Kung Fu, 1975, 1975, 1975 SWAT, The $6 Million Man, Cannon, Switch, Bronk, Friday,
Mhm.
Foster, McCloud, Most Wanted, Rocky, Starsky and Hutch, Barnaby Jones, Streets of San Francisco, 78, 79. He skips 80, 81, 82. Then it just keeps on going every year, like continually working. And I think this is a little bit of what Taraji P. Henson was talking about, how we get caught up in these situations where they just keep working. Sam Jackson is in that similar vein where they're of the mindset to just, hey, get in there, keep working, keep doing your thing. And I don't know if anybody's spoken on this, but it definitely seems like something black actors have to do a little more. Where
Right.
if they get into that sphere, that certain level, they just have to keep working. Otherwise, they could fall off.
Ooh, interesting.
I definitely think that's the case.
Hmm. Never thought of it like that. So, yeah, but kudos to him, man. And just, but I mean, he'll definitely go down as one of the iconic characters he created with Apollo Creed and then obviously his involvement with Star Wars. So he definitely will live on. Rest in power, Carl Weathers, for all the things you've done. So definitely was great.
Played the voice of Jax in Mortal Kombat 10. Huh.
There
Did
you
not
go.
know that. That's what I talk about when I say working.
And then I don't know if you remember, there's a show called Heat of the Night. He actually replaced the black guy that was in that. Heat of the Night was the Heat of the Night was based on a movie, a 1967 movie about a black sheriff coming into a kind of almost racist town in the South. And he came in like the last season and took over for the previous black guy that was there. So in the last season. So yeah, he's always been around, done stuff. So yeah, kudos to him.
Yeah. And I hope this doesn't sound dark, but I'm going to use it as a segue.
Mhm.
It's not going to be too dark. But
Okay.
wouldn't it be interesting if you could go to a funeral with the Apple Vision Pro?
Okay.
I just thought about like celebrity funerals, and I remember the Michael Jackson funeral was a big, huge thing. Everybody lost their minds. Apple Vision Pro came out, and everybody was talking about all these different apps and augmented reality. And as a designer, I'm always like, hey, couldn't you do this? And wouldn't that be, man, a funeral? What if you got to walk up to Carl Weathers and just, that'd be weird. That'd be weird. Sorry. Apple Vision Pro is out. Everybody's going nuts over it. It's selling out apparently at $3,500 a pop, right?
Yeah, that's about right. Yeah, did you watch any of these reviews out there about it? Mark KBD, is it Marcus Brownlee or what's his MKBHD? Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, something.
But yeah, his reviews, these tech gurus. But the one that kind of went pseudo viral was the tech reporter for Wall Street Journal, Joanna Stern. She says she's had the Pro on Vision Pro for 24 hours. And so Well, the first thing if you go to the video on YouTube of her reviewing, one of the first things you see her doing is be on a ski slope. And I was like, makes perfect sense because they do look like skiing goggles. It's just hilarious. So it's just as a tech reviewer, she is funny. So anyway, so she wore it out there just to see if you could do it and just gave her review of how the tech works and all that. For the most part, the general consensus is amazing for immersing yourself in the video itself, right? You can see camera, almost like holographic images of your family members. She loved the fact that you can watch movies on it and obviously work, right? So now it can, it looks like it can connect to your MacBooks and you can actually point that to the sky and you have your calendars and windows in different areas. You can have different windows opened up in different areas while you're working. So it's pretty great for work, pretty great for entertainment, but nothing much else. And I think one of the cool things that she liked about it, if you watch that video, was that cooking, which is amazing. You ever cook before? You're looking at the recipe while you're trying to cook and you're cutting stuff and your hands all nasty and dirty. With the Vision Pro, you can put the recipe up in the window sky so you can turn to your left and see it. But then she said there was an app she would highlight it and she actually put like timers on top of the boiling pot, so she knew exactly when they were gonna be done. So she
Mm,
could put a timer on boiling hot water here or timer on what was cooked in the oven, and so when she glanced at the pot, she is real augmented reality, right? You saw actual timers. You said, "Oh, I'm
yeah.
gonna touch that right now." And so you can you look over here, there's your recipe while you're chopping stuff up. You look at the timers. She said, "Okay, this could be the beginning of the future." It's not there yet because the headset's too heavy, the battery life doesn't last. But the true vision is where these things can stay on and you're using it to interact with your day life and make it so much useful. So it sounds like that's where they're trying to go with this. And but it's still a version one, kind of like the iPhone, right? There was the
Yeah.
iPhone version one. That's where we are with this Vision Pro instead. I thought it was good reviews, the best out there, she said, but for the most part, still got a little ways to go.
I was surprised at the buzz that I got from online, at least on Threads and X. Just like the people who were going to get one, they were gonna tell you about it. And it's fun, man, seeing these people go out and they're like, "All right, I'm here. I'm going to get the Vision Pro." Oh, wait, they can't just mail it to you. You have to. They made a whole new ordering pickup process for this thing. Yeah.
Apple.
Keep So no, it's funny. I don't know if there were because I didn't look, but I didn't see any long lines out of a door. But
Mhm.
instead of a physical line where people take pictures of it and whatever, I just kept seeing all these people posting up there, your product will be ready and such at blah blah blah. Thank you for whatever. And they just kept posting their little messages about their journey to getting the Apple Vision Pro. And it's, this is interesting that they fomented this whole experience where even before you put it on your head and talk about it, you're talking about it. So it's just, I'm hyped for it. And it seems like everybody's who's bought it has been, if not happy with it, excited at the possibilities.
Yeah, I think that's the general consensus too. Yeah, so you buying one tomorrow, Mr. Benja? Is that what you're saying? We're gonna pop one on. We're gonna do this in the Vision Pro next time.
Um, I don't know if it'll actually hook up to my computer because I got a bootleg one coming in from my boy Connor down the street. He said he can get me
Is an O.
the iFruit edition. I
Yeah, man. Like I
I
said,
might
I'm
give
gonna
it.
wait and see. Yeah, I'm gonna wait and see myself. It's just price point. She said you could just go to Hawaii for that price point instead of going to the virtual reality in the Vision Pro. But yeah, like I said, I'm good. Kudos for Apple to put it out there. It's like this the world that Facebook or Meta was trying to create, right?
Yeah.
It's like Apple has lapped them because now Meta is really going all in on AI now. But I digress there. But yeah, man. So I think people are just using it for content. Be honest with you, and just to have something unique and different to talk about. Tech reviewers, I get that, but just general people, they're just looking for the next new thing. We talked about this, I think, end of last year. People are
Mhm.
just not excited. There's nothing exciting anymore, right? It doesn't seem like we don't have any NFTs to talk about. We can talk about AI, but everybody thinks you can still learn AI, but let's be
You
real.
know, we're
Open
we're
AI
we're
owns AI.
we're numb to it, man. I think we're just
Yeah.
numb to this stuff, just being hit with all the stimulation. Put it this way, over a decade ago, I realized we were numb to stuff when I saw somebody start watching porn in a meeting on their phone.
My goodness.
A meeting was really boring and everybody was just like doing this. Dude, I lean back and
And no shame. He had no shame, did he?
dude just and I was just like, we're we're lost. We're desensitized. Something's gone wrong.
Oh, man. Jeez,
But
don't
yeah.
say that, man.
But yeah, speaking of the weird and wild world of social media, and Zuck has started to post a lot more on Threads. And I swear about zucking, right? When they call somebody gets zucked, where Zuck will take your idea, your energy, your flow, make it meta, and then put it out to his audience and his suite of products. That just happened, or it's been happening in the past week or two, where Zuck's been showing up on Threads, just like dropping these Elon style post, but metafied. He's playing that number one marketer.
Oh, no. So, what do you mean? Just the way he's posting stuff about his adventures, piloting a helicopter or MMA fighting? Yeah, is it just
Yeah,
that kind of stuff?
that whole thing.
Do people dig on it or were they just whatever?
No, they're totally digging on it. He's posting memes, right?
Yeah.
And he's responding how everybody's gonna throw the name Zuckerberg or Zuck just into their random comments. Yes, he's jumping into the comments, responding and everything like Elon does. And this is, I could imagine this is it's just a continuation of what I think I was seeing or I mentioned seeing last year when all these business accounts and all these major accounts when they started turning left and doing weird posts. It's like Bloomberg starts posting about, "Hey, watch these 2 kids play basketball," and this crazy shot by this kid, and everybody's watching and they're like, "Huh, Bloomberg, what the hell are you talking about?" That was interesting, and I stopped and I hit, "But Bloomberg, why are you doing this?" It's
I think the lines between business and personality have just been gone now. Even myself, who has a business, I thought, oh, you can just stand behind your business and be successful. But no, you have to be a brand apart from your business. And Joe Rogan, the example Alex Hormozi gets all the time is like Joe Rogan. He likes comedy, he likes mixed martial arts, he likes aliens,
yeah,
and they can all exist. and, and that's what
yeah.
makes him. And so if you show more your personality and who you are and all that, then you become more popular and you go more insulated. So you can do more business dealings.
Well, that makes sense for comedians and
Well, man,
podcasters and musicians.
no,
It
but
just
look at
seems weird when it goes into business world.
it does seem weird, but not anymore, man. Think of
No,
all the
not anymore.
business podcasts out there. Scott G, I mean, he's a business guy. A Prof G, excuse me. He's doing Scott Galloway. He was a business professor at Columbia, right? And or New York Stern. And he's leveraging his status to do other things with that aspect. All the guys in the All In podcast, they're all VC investors, and they're using that to stay clear of certain things. They can move markets because they have popularity as personalities. And so Elon Musk, like you said, the edge lord of all edge lords, he is the one that is leading the Pied Piper in that effort. He's almost invincible because of what he says on the internet. And so smoking weed with Joe Rogan. So I'm telling you, man, I think that's the and the business. I'm seeing it too, right? The more of a personality you become, more people know you. You're almost like it's almost like the halo effect of that you can do no wrong. And I think that's why a lot of them go in there. And surprised it took Zuck this long to realize that, but good for him. That's going to insulate him even further, right? As he starts to build the company towards something bigger and better. You saw the stock price went up about 20% recently because this whole pivot to AI, right?
Yeah.
Who cares that the name is called Meta for a reason, but we all forgot about how much he spent on the metaverse, right? And now
Yeah.
he's an AI. And so now
I
let's
think it
talk
still
about me
works.
riding my helicopter, huh?
Yeah. I think it still works, the meta name, but that's another story.
So now he's on his helicopter now. Look at me, the helicopter. Who cares about the business strategy anymore? I'm telling you, man, that's the world we live in now, man. It's all about the views, man. And you gotta invest in those views, man. That sweet views on the social media streets if you wanna keep growing. So anyway, that's just my take on it. But I'm glad we argue, man. That's good. I'm glad we got difference of opinion here on this one. We
Versus.
need more of that on the podcast.
Yeah. Basketball's a terrible sport, by the way.
Oh, yes. Let's get into
That's
it.
no, I'm just kidding. Yeah, and we got celebrities. Speaking of celebrities, Pharrell doing this Lego movie. I don't know where this came from, but this is a creative move that I like. I like when people do something a little interesting where you're okay, and it makes you take notice. Like two things you would never think of together. This is an easy one. Pharrell and Legos. He's doing it. I don't even know what to call it. A biopic sort of film. I don't. Not, we're not sure exactly how it's going to turn out or what it's going to be exactly. But basically, Deadline says that Pharrell Williams is creating this movie called Piece by Piece about his life, getting a fall release from Focus Pictures. That's pretty indie, right?
Yeah, it's pretty indie. What are your thoughts on it? I thought it was quirky like he is. Cool. He's gonna do a Lego movie. It's Pharrell. You know anything about Pharrell. But yeah, I
Hold
I
up.
knew you would like that artsy fartsy stuff.
Do you remember the Eminem music video where Eminem is sitting in the audience watching all the shenanigans that go down and something flies above his head and he's just that's the look. That's the meme in my head that plays every time Pharrell does something outrageous and crazy. Like when he showed up at the music awards with that huge hat. Please tell
Yes.
me you remember the hat.
Yeah,
Okay.
I do remember that. That was a thing for a minute. That was a thing.
Everybody was like, "Yo, dude's got the hat, man. What's going on?"
And that
Uh,
remember that song Happy Man? He probably made so much money on that song.
yeah.
Just yeah, God foreseen. Did you know he had that? I don't know if it's still up. I was gonna look it up. There was a YouTube, there was a website
24
you would
hours?
go to. Yeah, 24 hours. Is it still up?
I don't know. I
24
remember that.
hours happy. Yeah, I don't know if it's still up, but yeah, I would go. Yeah, it's 24 hours of happy. It's still up to this day, Mr. Benja.
Yeah.
The world's first 24-hour music video. And it's basically the video on loop with the different people dancing to the song Happy. Previously, they had edited for the video, and that came out when my daughter was like, what, 2 years old? We used to play that for hours, Mr. Benja. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, Pharrell, definitely a quirky dude. I don't know. Do you feel like he's still relevant? I haven't heard some music here and there, but nothing like
Well, no,
ground shaking lately.
these artists, they use music and then that becomes their brand, but not necessarily their profession, their job anymore.
Yeah.
It's like he just did the Louis Vuitton thing.
Yeah.
Um, so he's head of the Louis Vuitton creative,
That.
kind of a figurehead position, but yeah, he definitely came in with his own taste, feel, did that for Louis Vuitton. He was really doing big things for G Star Raw. I don't know if any of you guys know that brand. He's producer extraordinaire. Yeah, so Pharrell's been around always doing stuff and doing a quirky move and also having quirky stuff come out. Yeah, that's par for our discussion here. How do you get these views? How do you get that attention? Just hey, do something crazy, say something crazy, wear a crazy hat.
Yeah, I think he was really one of those like outlandish dudes. I never heard him say anything. It was too at. He just wore different things, did little quirky little things here and there, but had some good music, especially when we were in college. The clips and beautiful.
No, but
No,
people don't understand how serious the clubs were ruled by Pharrell and the Neptunes
Neptune, yeah, Neptune sound.
and Timbaland because they had a little battle
Timberland,
going
yeah.
on. Yeah,
Yeah, they sure did. Yeah, and what the late aughts, late 90s, early aughts, as they would say. So yeah,
destroying.
man, Pharrell was running things. So kudos to him, man. But I will not watch that in the theaters, I don't think. But we'll see. If it gets good reviews, I may check it out.
Yeah. And what else we got here? Oh, speaking of being online and weird stuff, we got some TikTok shenanigans. This gets a little more into the business side of things, but I originally started looking at some of this TikTok stuff because I saw that they were putting out for the 25th anniversary of The Sopranos, they were putting out episode recaps of every episode in 25-second clips. And it just seemed, I don't know, bizarre. But what are you gonna do?
TikTok is going TikTok, man. They're gonna find anything. It's all about content, man. They can remix or change anything out. And some of the studios try to make things go viral, but you just don't know, man. And that's the thing I think the studios are scared of. They don't know what movie's gonna do well. Remember last year, this time, Megan went viral with the little robot dance, right? TikTok, right? And so
Yeah.
everybody, oh, I go see that movie. And then the gentle minion stuff on TikTok. And so now, obviously, if you don't know, Sopranos is a show that I can't believe this. 25 years ago, golly, 1999, 25 years ago, it started and it was a hit. I watched it. I don't know. Did you watch The Sopranos at all?
Yeah, yeah. I love Sopranos.
Yeah, back then there was no such thing as prestige TV. That was like the beginning of it. It was like, wow, this is an interesting show and very anti-women, very kind of pseudo racist, but it was definitely something we all watched.
You know what? No matter who, if you, I don't know about the misogyny side of things, but as far as the race was concerned, it's like we expected him to be a racist piece of shit and everybody else that he was rolling with. So whenever we saw the black people get involved and we saw them like talking bad about him, I don't know. I didn't feel bad about that. I thought it was hilarious because I'm like, yeah, I know guys like that. I know who you are. We know the get down. So it was funny to see it actually portrayed because we know the get down.
Yeah. Like I said, man, it's one of those things where but it was a great show. Anyway, TikTokers have decided to edit it down 25 seconds because it was like an hour-long show, and they had 13 episodes every season,
Mhm.
and just to keep the young ones involved. So kudos to them, man. That's what TikTok does, man. They just try to make things old new again.
Yeah, I can't stand TikTok. Um, I just want to go ahead and put that out there.
Same. Yeah. I'm on there doing some stuff, but yeah, it's a time suck too, number one. Anybody can get sucked into TikTok because the algorithm is so good at figuring out what you're going they see you just look at something like longer than half a second. Guess what? The next video you're gonna get is the same thing. YouTube is like that too and other stuff, but not like TikTok will grab you and take a hold. And you look up, it's 4 in the morning. What happened?
Has TikTok ever told you to slow down?
No, I haven't got that. You got that?
That's when I deleted the app. I was dog. I was scrolling and looking, and I was like, dog, this is incredible. And I was just jumping in the comments, boom, reply, boom, boom, swipe, boom, reply, comment, boom. I was all over the place, dog. And I was moving. I finished and I went to the search bar, boom, boom, boom. Okay, search for Pharrell. Boom. Okay, Pharrell. Pharrell was good. Da, da, da. I was just going crazy. Dude, a message came up saying, hey, you should take it easy on social media. Social media is a tool, but it is not meant to be. And I'm like, what?
Abused. You
It's
got the
like
warning.
He
You
was
got
like,
the
"If you"
warning.
it was like, "If you need help," I was just like, "I don't need help. I need you to shut up so I can get back to commenting and posting."
Oh, man, that is crazy. TikTok had said to you that you were endangering yourself because you're on social media too much. Oh, wow.
It's like
And that's
it's like,
like, it wasn't me, it was the algorithm. I gotta get off this thing.
Slow down, bro. Slow down, bro."
That's hilarious. Good story.
But yeah, UMG is getting off of TikTok too. That is the Universal Music Group. So they're taking music off TikTok right now. It's a big stank about this corporate battle. I don't know if you heard about this one, Theo.
I did hear about it from I think from you, Mr. Pinja, but I was like, it's funny. I hear something from you or somebody, and then now it's everywhere. So once you mentioned it, I did say, "Oh, wow, that's why there's no music coming from TikTok in certain platforms."
Yeah, reading from NBC News here. Let's see. Singer Dean Lewis said, "I have a new song coming out, so my music is getting taken down in 5 hours, but I have a new song coming out in 9 hours." And so he says, "So my song's not coming out on TikTok," as if that's a thing. It is, it is, but it's funny just hearing someone say, "So my song is not coming out on TikTok." I've seen people launch their songs on TikTok and what do you call it, and Instagram and Snapchat before. So that's where you're breaking new music out. Screw Hot
Oh, so the
97.
SoundCloud is not what it used to be. It's all about TikTok, right? Just because you wanna get those youngins creating those little TikTok dance for you. Is that really what it's all about?
Yeah, when they used to say, "Hey, dog, you seen that new music video by such and such?" It's, don't even worry about it. Just drop a hot song on TikTok, and then people start using it and adding it to their dance or making a making a stitch out of it, and then next thing you know, you're hot, and that's how songs get around. I've bought a couple songs just because they were floating around like that. I'm like, "Huh, I really like that song."
That's true, man. Yeah, TikTok it can get an earworm in you, man, and stuff like that. I can see how that happens. But it's amazing how it's just influencing culture, man, because there's a movie out now called Anyone But You. It's just like a mid-level rated R romantic comedy with two wannabe movie stars. They're not movie stars yet, but they're trying to be this guy named Glenn Powell, and I think her name is Sydney Sweeney. And they're various TV shows, movies, but it's just they're trying to make new movie stars. So
Mhm.
the movie came out, nothing happened with it, and then they just left it out there. It's, "Okay, we release it on Christmas, we'll see what happens." And so here it is, like, what, about a month and a half since they released it, and it's still doing gangbusters, man, and all because some TikTokers loved one of these songs that showed up on there, and they remixed it, and now everybody's recopying it from the movie, right? And so
Mhm.
now the movie's a thing. That's similar to Stranger Things. Remember, they had that song with what's her name? Run Up That Hill, the young lady who wrote that song. Stranger Things went viral because of that, right? And I
Mhm.
think Kate Bush, Run Up That Hill, Deal for God, and that blew up. So it's, man, TikTok, you just don't know, man. You just put it out there, people grab onto it. They make a name for themselves by remixing it or add it with some different music. Wednesday, another hit, right? Because of that dance, right? They
Yeah.
did with. So it's just TikTok is the place to make hit makers, to your point, not just music, but also video.
Did you see there's a video going around that this young girl who's all into video editing and social media, and she's really that's her world, and she's like, "You don't understand. Editing is everything. We can make you feel anything."
Mm.
And she's like, "The major corporations know this, but they're people are just like, 'Oh, yeah, edit your videos,' and so you don't understand. Watch this." And so they did these cuts of Epstein, politicians, a random kid outside somebody's house, a cat, just she did these random video edits of all these people, and you really were like, "Whoa, I wanna know who this person is. Whoa, I wanna," and they were really good. And I was like, "This is these are," it was just it was worthless content as in terms of people and everything,
Yeah.
but, like, they pick a random, like, football guy who doesn't do anything. They play the hard music, and he's sitting on the sidelines just, thinking about the game and da 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 da. It's like some guy who's never gotten any field time at all, and it's just it's like
Was it did we editing part of editing, is it music too and stuff like that?
yeah, yeah, the whole
Yeah,
editing, the
and
cuts,
the
and the way
lighting, yeah, contrast, yep.
yeah, so an editor and was like, "Hey, listen, she's TikTok is destroying our concept of everything," and that's a shame.
That's why we hate it.
I don't know what's real. I don't know what's real. Yeah, man.
Oh, man. Speaking
Alright.
of real, I got a transition for you.
Go
Speaking
ahead,
of
go ahead.
real, Mr. Benja, do you know who Byron Allen is? And do you realize that he put something out there that people don't think is even real?
Wait, what did he put out?
Byron Allen, if you don't know, he's the owner of the Weather Channel, used to be comedian, stand-up comedian. He hosted The Real People back in the like early, like in the 70s, almost before our time. He's a big time mogul now. And so now he's making bids for pieces of property in this case, entertainment assets. And he just made a $30 billion bid for Paramount Global. This is a huge deal because Paramount Global is the owner of BT, Showtime, CBS, and it's trying to sell itself, right? There's been people circling around it for a while, from David Ellison's son to other folks trying to see if they can get a piece of that. And so here comes Byron Allen. And so basically his offer is 14 billion just to outright buy it. And the other 15, 16 billion is really for debt that Paramount owned because As we talked about this before, all these folks got a lot of debt so they can build all their content libraries up to go after the streaming wars. We all know the streaming wars are
Uh-oh.
dead now. So they all got this debt. That's why they're trying to sell. They're trying to get out of it. And so Byron Allen's coming. And the rumor is he doesn't even want the streaming services and Paramount is great because they have a lot of IP, Transformers, they got Mission Impossible series, they got a lot of stuff that they Godfather, they got a lot of IP and they have a studio. But the rumor is he doesn't even want that. He's a cable guy. He has a Weather Channel.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
he has Centric TV, which is like a black owned kind of thing. He just wants it for like his assets like CBS. And so he can leverage that to do more.
Bees.
That's the other rumor too. The
Uh,
other rumor is this is a ploy because he did bid for, I think he put 3 billion out there for BET and they just dismissed him. The rumor is the banker that's working with Sherry Redstone, who's the owner of Paramount Amusement Corp, but the owners of Paramount Global, Byron Allen and the banker for Paramount Global, they teamed up and he's, look, go ahead and put a bid out there so we can get these other jokers to move faster with their bids. and, and if they win, we'll go ahead and get you a BET that y'all want. So that's the rumor because they don't know. The rumor is okay, he's gonna get 30 billion. He's put out a bid for 30 billion, but where's Byron Allen getting his money from? And so I hate to say to boil this down, is basically does a brother have enough money to spend to get into this rarefied air? And I think that's what they're trying to figure out. They don't know if he has the cash to do the deal. He has the funding because the way that the original approach would be like, hey, he really needs to just get enough capital to hold it, and then he can get backers who want to buy off pieces of it. So let's say they sell Paramount Plus, or they sell off the studio to someone else. He can get more money to pay off the debt and make the deal worthwhile. But they wonder if he can put that together in a financing package, and that's the question right now.
dude, I'm tired of hearing about Byron Allen. I love this guy. I think he's cool. He's funny. But it's every couple of months I just hear about, hey dog, I heard Byron Allen is gonna buy Krispy Kreme. The whole thing. Like, really? Huh. Okay. You know he owned the Weather Channel. Of course he can own that. So, all right. Two weeks later. Hey dog, I heard Byron Allen was about to buy K-Swiss sneakers. It's like, really? It's just all over the place. I don't know. Just those aren't examples in his area, but yeah, BET, offered 10 billion to take ABC and other
Yeah,
Disney
good point.
networks off Bob Iger's hands. Um,
Yeah, it does seem like it's, hey, who's got something they want to sell? I'll buy it. I'll buy it. And then it's like you almost become creepy and desperate, right? What's that analogy, man? You just don't want to be so thirsty for a girl, right? Every girl that walks by, you say, hey, can I get a date? Can I get a date? Can I holler at you? Wait a minute. Do you want me or you just want a girl? And so that's the thing I think with Byron Allen. Does he want Paramount Global, or he just wants a seat at the table to be considered a media mogul? And I think that's what he wants. But to be fair, he may have a shot because look, there's not too many black owners in these big media projects. And because he owns the Weather Channel, if you read this article I sent you from the Puck, they broke it down. He has good relationships with the FCC. And the challenge is any other buyer, they're gonna may have run into some regulation issues because FCC don't play that mixing of companies. So if you
mhm,
already own a TV station like NBC, they could not buy Paramount Global because Paramount Global owns CBS. That would be too
mm,
much.
yeah.
So Byron Allen knows that and has good relations with the FCC, and so they may let it ride. Yeah, so he'll get something, man. But kudos to him, man. To go from a stand-up comedian in his career to offering $30 billion for Paramount, it's like phenomenal.
You know what I can't trust
What?
is whenever you go to a website and it says, "Hey, look at all these things I've done," and then you actually click on one of the things they've done, and it's a broken link. I'm sorry.
Yep.
I'm sorry. I just found a broken link on his webpage.
No, Byron
Yeah.
Allen, don't do it. You put a $30 billion offer out there, you have a broken link. Oh man,
Yeah,
come
there's
on.
a broken link on the site, but no,
Well, real
it's
quick,
hard to find. I'm just clicking all around.
well, what they do, he texts the Redstone, the owner of Paramount, the offer. So Hey, Mr. Benja, how are you today? Hey, guess what?
Oh,
You know your Paramount Global, $14 billion. How about that? The text.
on the toilet right now. We'll text you back after.
Wait a minute. BRB, shoulder shrug emoji.
BRB. Reply stop to
What? What if it was the word emojis with the eggplant? Oh, yeah.
no, man.
So anyway, hilarious, man. You just texting offers for $14 billion. Oh, man. Well,
Hey,
that's hilarious.
but you know what I think the problem is? He's
What's that?
black.
Yeah, man. I think so too.
By the way, it's funny. That's what I say that in serious jest, like all the time. And I caught one of my friends. He got really nervous. It's like, God damn it. It's because I'm black. And I was just joking to myself. And he was like, hey, man. You could hear the soft music just playing over his head. He just came over to me. Hey, man, it's okay. We know you've gone through a lot in this. I'm like, make it away from me. I'm just joking around.
This is the race car, man. That's what they would
Yeah.
say. But it's, man, I mean, I don't even in the back of my mind is there, but I just what's it called? I put that buffer in all my calculations, right? Just that's just part of the calculation. So you
Yeah.
can't get mad at it, right? If you're gonna be your wife is takes her 10 minutes to get hour to get ready, you tell her the party starts at 7, even though it really starts at 8. And so you don't get mad. That's exactly
Yeah.
what I do with racism. I tell myself I have to just be just a little bit better and I'll be okay. So I don't know. That's just always been my take on it. But I know that's just,
You're not mad? You're not mad? No, I had another gig lined up. This might be a probability. I knew that.
exactly. Yeah. And because at the end of the day, man, you just can't dictate that. You just got to roll the punches. Because whatever mild irritations I've had or microaggressions they would call, I guarantee our predecessors had way more than us. So I say, hey, I'll fight the good fight for another day.
Yeah, and we brought that up because of black thing, because real quick, the DEI whole thing, back and forth, racism, reverse racism. I'm hearing words about anytime I hear somebody talking about skin color, I know it's, oh God, here we go. It's not about skin color. Black History Month. Two FAMUans from the school that we are from are in the news over a lawsuit that came up, and it's quick. Maybe the story better. Maybe you should just run through it real quick.
Yeah, just high level. Two young ladies, they started a venture capital fund looking to fund Black women, and which is fine in 2020 after George Floyd and all that. But now in 2024, with anti-woke sentiments out there and the deconstruction of DEI programs, diversity, equity, inclusion, and the Supreme Court ruling taking back affirmative action, that's a non-starter now. And now they're being sued by other folks saying that they're VC funded discriminatory against other races and genders. And so now they're fighting for their lives to keep the program alive, getting funding. It's hard now because a lot of corporations who promised millions of dollars has backed out. Because I think initially they
Scared. They
got some, yeah,
scared.
they're scared. They're scared. And so now they're suing and doing a kind of court stuff. And there's rumors that it's going to go all the way to Supreme Court. Definitely tough time. And then also to get some backlash against Black men who saying, why does it got to be for women only? So it's just they're getting it from all sides. Kudos to those
Yeah.
sisters trying to going out there. I knew one of them, Yana Parsons. I think I know her husband, but do some things. But yeah, kudos to them. Hopefully they can get this on the right footing. But we'll talk more about this, Mr. Benja, maybe throughout. This is February, Black History Month, because we Black and we're gonna talk about it. So that's what we do every
Yep.
so often. So it may will bring back Black Batman Week. Yeah, we gotta do that.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. It's here.
All right, Mr. Benja, thanks for your time. Everyone, thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed the show. Please like, subscribe, and comment at Show versus Business on X, YouTube, and Instagram. Listen to us at Spotify, iTunes, wherever you listen to podcasts. Visit us at our website, Show versus Business. Mr. Benja, have a great one.
Peace.